Since the early 19th century, hundreds of thousands of immigrants from Poland set sail chasing dreams of a better life, free from poverty and war, sometimes simply out of curiosity about the world. For the next 200 years, the wave of migration never ceased. Emigration is a part of our DNA. You'll find Poles on every continent. Some of them found success, others faced struggle. But wherever we went, we brought more than just suitcases. We got heart, resilience, hard work, and a deep drive to contribute to society. From small towns to big cities, Polish immigrants have left their mark. Join us as we explore the stories of Polish immigrants who changed their lives and the lives of the places they came to.
My name is Małgorzata Meub. I came to the United States first when I was 17 years old. It was obviously super different world. I came to be a godmother to my niece. My uncle lived in Boston at the time. And I saw for the first time the Western lifestyle. I thought I was in heaven at the time. I remember the taste of first McDonald's hamburger and French fries. I'll never forget it. And I thought, oh, I died and I went to heaven. So that first seed was planted, and I was really never the same afterwards. I always had a sense of adventure and just hunger to go see the world. And so needless to say, I left Poland on September 18th of 1983. And I landed in New York. Next day, I took a trailway bus. 62 hours later, I landed in Phoenix, in Arizona. My uncle picked me up. I lived with my uncle for several months. Really, my goal to come to America was to see the world, see Arizona, earn $10,000. At that time in Poland, $10,000 was a lot of money, and just come back. America was really never a goal to stay and to live here. So maybe 2 years later, when I was ready to come back, I met my husband, ex-husband, and I was introduced to him by a mutual friend. And charming, good-looking man. He was very interested in me, and I fell in love. So we got married. We bought our first house with the $5,000 that I had saved. Imagine that. We bought a house in Chandler, Arizona, right south of Phoenix area. And he moved in first. And 3 years later, our daughter was born, Emily. And when Emily was 3 months old, he went to Poland for the first time to visit his family. First time, I'm saying, after many years, he has not been to Poland. And after he came back, next day, he asked me for a divorce. My daughter was 3 months old. We had a house with mortgage. I did not have $10,000 to my name because I put it down on a house. He decided he loved his girlfriend, first girlfriend from high school. He met with her when he was in Poland. So long story short, he ended up going back to Poland, and I was stuck with a baby and with a mortgage. My very first job was at a motel in Phoenix, and it was a motel that was rented per hour. Bed area. Anyway, I found better jobs. I stepped up. I was working for a very wealthy family as a housekeeper full time. Then I found another job, word of mouth, of course, as a cook to this older lady. I was taking care of her. And then I had a third job when I went to somebody's house and did all their laundry and ironing over the weekend. So I had 3 jobs. Along the way somewhere, I met a family, and I ended up living with that family for a while. She was a massage therapist, and she actually helped me through her contacts get a green card. She worked as a massage therapist on really quite famous people. One of her clients was Nancy Reagan. Eventually, I started school because I realized that working as a massage therapist is not going to provide for me and for my children along the way. So I started from a community college in Scottsdale. I did 2 years there, and then transferred to Arizona State University, and I got a degree in marketing. Eventually, my parents came to the States, and then I had a goal to go do master's degree at a very good school with great reputation. It was called Thunderbird, the International School of Management. That is a private master degree program, very expensive. I wasn't thinking how I'm gonna do that. And my clients, people who I was doing massages on, basically committed to me, if you really want to do that, we're going to help you. 3 of my customers worked on that together to provide that scholarship for me. And I got into school and finished it. 4 or 5 months later, I got an offer from 3M here in Austin, and they relocated me to Austin, and that's how I ended up in Austin. So the job was great. I was a product manager for the overhead projectors, technology that die eventually, obviously. And that sort of took me out of that job nine years later. And at that point, I found a job at Dell, and I spent there 15 years. In 1998, after Arizona State University, I met a man at school who became my second husband. And we eventually got married, and our second daughter, or my second daughter, was conceived, Alex. We bought this house, and that was a very interesting part of my life as well. Unfortunately, that marriage did not work, but I have interesting kind of stories too around that. He is from Vermont. He comes from quite wealthy family in New York with banking background and sort of this blue blood society, part of the society. And his grandmother did not like me very much. And I asked him one time, why does your grandmother, she doesn't seem to be very warm to me. And he said, well, she is from the era when Polish women were supposed to clean houses, not marry their grandsons. Luckily, I am a pretty strong person and stubborn, and that just only creates this defiance in me and the drive to, I'll show you what I can do. Life happens. It's not what we choose always, but that's what is being presented. I met my partner. He was my chiropractor, and he was not married, and I was single at the time. I basically asked him out, and he declined, but I was persistent. And finally he said, Margaret, I cannot date patients. So I had to fire him. We have been together 11 years now, and we have a great relationship. And, you know, sometimes just things work for a reason, and they just work out. So we eventually met and went on the first date, and the rest is history. America has created an opportunity, and it's not a cliche, but it truly is. I was able to find a job or different jobs to just really go after that first goal of $10,000. And I was very close. As a person in my 30s, I decided to go back to school. Nobody was asking me how old I am, what are my circumstances, and I did very well. I've spent more now time in America than in Poland. And when I came, I missed home like everybody else, and I was trying to preserve my traditions. And I wanted to be connected to a Polish community. So when I was in Phoenix, the Polish church was forming, and I was playing a small part of it. But once we had the Polish church, I directed choir for 4 years. So I was very much involved in it. Then I was part of recording Polish radio for the Polish radio station, and we aired that on a weekend. My older daughter went to Polish language school. My older daughter speaks quite fluently. She's also spent a lot of time in Poland with grandparents and cousins. So I was always very involved in the Polish community. It is very important to me to show Poland from the best possible side. Very early on, and I was talking about my defiance, very early on, I made a pretty conscious decision that I will never say or be ashamed to admit that I'm from Poland.